Good evening, everyone. So last class we are trying to understand some points about vector. Okay, I'll ask a few questions. Try to answer. Point number one: what is vector? What is a vector? A vector is a legacy collection. What is the meaning of legacy collection? Legacy means it is a legacy technology. Legacy means old. A vector is a legacy collection. Can I call every old thing is a legacy? Can I call it a legacy fan? No. Legacy means we have alternative technology. We got alternative better technology, then we call it as what? Legacy. So a vector is a legacy collection, means it has an alternative class. That alternative class is array list. A vector is a legacy collection. It is hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, Baba. Me.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Sir, I was asking that was it recorded or not?
4 o'clock batch. 4 o'clock it was not now. I will be in the class now, right?
Yeah, sir.
Call to your admin.
I have attended all the classes, but today due to some medical reasons I was
Call to admin. Admin number shared, no?
Yes, sir, but he told me that I don't know about that.
Yeah. Tomorrow you ask. Tomorrow in the class.
Okay.
A vector is a legacy collection available from 0.0. What the use of vector? It is used for storing multiple objects. In what format? In which format? Huh? Vector is for table format. Key value pair. Vector is for storing key value pair. It is used for storing multiple objects in insertion order with index, with thread safety. With a thread safety in multi-threaded application. So what is the meaning of thread safety? With a synchronization. It is used for storing multiple objects in insertion order with index, with thread safety in a multi-threaded application. In multi-threaded application. So observe, add method is synchronized method. Capacity method, synchronized method. Size method. All methods available in vector class are declared as synchronized. Then, when you create a vector object, now in a chance multiple threads can be there in a. All these multiple threads got access to this object. First object performing adding, second object performing removing, third object performing retrieving. If we allow all the three threads concurrently on the same object, what will happen? If all these threads are executing concurrently, then in the middle of first thread, second thread executed. In the middle of second thread, third thread executed. Finally, objects are stored, removed, retrieved consistently, inconsistently. Finally, we'll get wrong results. That's why vector is declared as synchronized. Then when first thread obtains access to this object, immediately this object is locked. Then other thread has a chance to execute? No. It has to wait until this thread execution completed. After that lock is released, second thread executed. After that lock is third thread executed. So object threaded is threads are to providing methods vector as well is a collection collection. Third point, it is synchronized collection. Fourth, tell me, is it a ordered collection or unordered collection? What the meaning of ordered, unordered? When I store elements in the vector, our elements are storing in insertion order? No, no, yes, sir. No, no. First element, then second element, then third element, then fourth element. One after one elements are storing, na? That is called what? Insertion order. It is a ordered collection, stores objects in insertion order. Okay. Fifth question. Tell me, when I create vector object, and if he is trying to store elements in the vector object, it is the following one algorithm. Na? What is the implemented data structure? What is the implemented structure? You know, implement data is growable array. Its implement data structure is growable array. Next, create object with the D capacity. What is mental capacity? Double increment capacity is double plus double. Tell me, object vector 1 equal to new vector of can I give here 0? Can I create vector object with the capacity 0? No, no. This 0, 1, 2, whatever you are passing, that is the capacity. Na? Capacity means array object is created with that initial capacity. What you are passing? Na? Created with what number? 0. If you create with 0, system.out.println v4 dot capacity and v4 dot size. Size is also 0. Capacity is also 0. And displaying element v4. Last class, did you observe? Minimum capacity, current capacity plus 1. What is the current capacity? 0. Now, I am calling v4 dot add of double quotes a. Tell me, when you call add method to store a, do you have location in the vector object? Vector object creates the 0 locations. Na? Then In zero location, can I store A? No. Now it has to grow to next. If I write current capacity into 2, what the current capacity? 0. 0 into 2, 0. In a lifetime, what? 0 only, no? So if you create vector object with the capacity 0, you cannot multiply it into 2 and you cannot grow. That's why what was the logic there? Minimum plus 1. So what is the capacity of this one? Plus 1. Double or if it is already there, capacity is there, then double. Else plus 1. Control F11. You get there? Initial capacity what? 0. Now the capacity is what? 1 plus 1. Tell me. If I add one more element, V4 dot add of B. What the vector capacity? 1. First initially 1. Then now I want to double it. Possible? 1 into 2. Into 2 possible na? So plus 1 na into 2 na? Here into 2 will work. Okay. If the vector object size is 0, it's not possible to double it. So that's why we will add plus 1. If other than, if it is greater than or equals to 1, if the vector capacity is greater than or equals to 1, capacity will be double. If vector capacity is 0, then we will add plus. So what is the incremental capacity? Double or plus. All points understand?
Yes.
Next, 7th question, very important. What type of elements are allowed to store? Okay, default capacity 10. Now I want to store elements, right? What type of elements are allowed to store? Can I store homogeneous? Homogeneous? Unique? Duplicate. All 4 types of objects are allowed. Next. Can I store null? Null. Null is allowed. How many? Only 1? Can I store 2, 3, 4, 5? Yes, multiple. Why? Why multiple nulls are allowed? Because duplicates are allowed, na? Next. In which order elements are stored? If I store objects in the vector, in which order elements are stored? Objects are stored in insertion. Okay. In which order we can retrieve the objects? We can retrieve both randomly and sequentially. Okay. I'm not asking how many. I'm asking in which order. We can retrieve objects either randomly or sequentially, or both, your wish. So these are the 10 questions you should understand working with vector. Okay, Krupati Gopi, you know already collections, so I am removing you from the class. You know already, na? Then why you are here, Anas? Time waste, right? You can study some other subject. Which batch you are? Search it in Google and type. How dare you to search in Google? Then search remaining syllabus also in Google. Na? Why you are coming into class? Then don't show your overaction. So hope you all understand 10 points. There is a problem with the vector. Can you identify what the problem? In all these points, if you carefully watch, there is a problem with the vector. Sorry? Performance is low. Why? Vector is thread safe. It is a synchronized collection. Because of synchronization, allows to store duplicates. Array, if allows to store duplicates, how is the problem here? Now tell me. Now synchronization is the problem. How synchronization is problem? If synchronization is the problem, repeating again. If synchronization is the problem, then why vector is created as synchronization? They would have created as a non-synchronized only, na? Now Sun Microsystem initially thought of Java is a multi-threaded model application. Now the developer will try to access this vector object from multiple threads. Then from one thread to another thread, the operation should go sequentially. So let me make it as what? Synchronous. But later on, going on, they realized, because of the synchronization, performance issues are coming. Why? 99.99% we don't use multiple threads. We will use multiple threads, but we don't access the collection from multiple threads at a time, because we don't create collection at the class level. See, if you create collection or any object at class level, then only that object has a chance to access from multiple threads now. If you create variable or object inside the method, then for each method, separate copy of object variable created. First thread, second thread, third thread, fourth thread. First thread has its own collection. Second thread has its own collection. Third thread has its own collection. Fourth thread has its own collection. Or we will create collection inside one method, perform operations in that method, and share that object to another method. Means we are sharing that object to another thread. Then why after the first thread execution completed only we are sharing the object. Then second thread is getting access to this object concurrently, na sequentially. After second method execution completed, we are sharing that object to third thread. Then third thread now got access to this object. Am I right? Then tell me what to do now. Synchronization required or not required? An object is accessing by multiple threads, one after one, sequentially. Then if the object is synchronized, then tell me, unnecessary object is locking so many times and performance issue, na? Yes. Locking, unlocking is performance issue. That is where, to solve the synchronization problem of the vector, a new class is came called what? What? Array list. What the name of the class? Array list. Working with array list. Tell me now. Working with a array list. Point number 1, as usual, same 10 points. Point number 1, what is array list? An array list is a Legacy collection, old collection, or it is an alternative of vector? It is an alternative of vector. Then can you call it as a legacy collection? No. This array list is available from 1.2 version. From 1.2 version onwards, collections are called collections framework. What do you call? Collections framework. Why it is called collections framework? At this minute, don't worry. Okay, I'll tell you later why it is called collections framework. Tell me now. So public class test 0 to array list main method. Inside main method, I have to create array list object. How to create array list? Look at here. Array list is available from which version? This is the API documentation. 1.2 version. Okay. Who is the author? Hari Krishna. Hari Krishna. Okay. Josh Block. He's having one textbook. Okay. Wonderful book is there. If you can understand, read it. Okay, of course you will not understand, don't read. And now array list class is available from which version? 1.2. And array list is a collections framework collection. It is not legacy collection. Collections framework collection. What the meaning of collections framework? I will tell you. I don't want to discuss it now. Collections framework collection available from 1.2 version. Why I'm saying available from 1.2 version? Because in next versions also we got some more new collections. That's why I'm specifying the version number. From 1.2 version onwards, whichever the collection class newly developed, all the classes are called what? Collections framework collections. Before the classes, they are called what? Legacy collections. Okay. So an array list is a collections framework collection available from 1.0 version. Second point. Tell me now. Is it a synchronized collection or non-synchronized? Okay. What the use of it? It is used for storing multiple objects. Multiple objects in insertion order with index with thread safety or without thread safety? Without thread safety. Okay. So if you want to store objects with a thread safety, we have to choose vector. Means I want to collect the objects at a class level common to all methods of the class. Then I have to choose array list vector. Class level, if you create multiple methods can access. Multiple methods means what? Multiple threads. Each method you have to consider as a one thread, because this method called by first thread, second method called by second thread, third method called by third thread. Do you remember bank account factory class contain a produce and consume method? Produce method calling producer thread, consume method calling consumer thread. For both the methods, who is the common object? Factory. Inside factory, we created a int variable items available variable. Then those two variables are accessing in multiple threads concurrently if not declared method as a synchronized. So if you want to collect the objects at a class level common to all methods, I have to choose vector. If you want to collect the objects inside the method specific to this method, choose what? Array list. So it is used for storing multiple objects in insertion order with index without thread safety. So if we want store objects, or if you want to collect objects local to one method or common to all methods in single threaded application, we must use array list. Understood? Next, tell me, third point. Is it a Is it a what? Synchronized or not synchronized? It is not a synchronized collection. Next, or you can say non-synchronized collection. Non-veg, non-synchronized. Next, 4. Is it ordered collection? It's maintaining elements insertion order, na? 4 5th. Next, what the points you told? Come on, remember, you have to remember it. What is the implemented data structure? Array list of all types of objects, AL equal to new array list. Tell me, now if we store objects here, what is the default capacity? 10. Like vector, its default capacity also 10. If I keep on storing objects, 10 allowed. After 10, if I store 11 or 12, capacity growing, na? That means what the implement data structure? But people are not calling it as a growable array. It is called resizable array. You know, Sun Microsystem from Java 7 version onward, they don't want to talk on capacity, they want to talk on size. Resizable. As a developer, you worry capacity, you must worry size only. How many you are storing, how many you are removing. Add object, size will be increased. Remove object, size will be decreased. Resizable, either grow or shrink. So growable ante people are feeling that it can only grow, cannot be decreased. Wrong, na? You can also decrease it. You can increase or you can decrease. That's why people change the name as what? Resizable array. Next, 6th one. Now, what type of elements are allowed? All 4 types of objects are allowed. What are the 4 types? Homogeneous, heterogeneous, unique, and duplicate. Next, 7th one. Is null allowed? Null is allowed. How many? Multiple nulls are allowed because duplicates are allowed. Next, 8th question. Somewhere point missing. Bah, Rajneesh Kumar, you invented a new point here. Wow. Every collection is a dynamic array. Default capacity we forgot. Tell me. 6th one. What is the default capacity? Default capacity is 10. What is the incremental capacity? Half. Not double. That's why I told you not double. It is a memory waste and performance issue. That's why they have decided to increase by half. 10 half. Next capacity what? 15. 15 half. 7.5. 7. 15 by 2. 15 is a int. 2 is a int. Result should be int. So what will come? 7. Okay, 7 is the result. In maths it is 7.5, but in Java it is what? 7. If 15.0 by 2, then 7.5. Okay, half or plus 1. Why? Because in array list also I can specify size 0. If I specify size 0, then it has to increase by half and 0 by 2. Half and by 2, na? 0 by 2, 0. Lifelong it will be 0. That's why if the capacity is 0, increase by plus 1. If the capacity is 1, increase by half. And half location will be attached. If the capacity is 0 or 1, increased by 1. If the capacity is 2 or more than 2, increased by half. Hope you know mathematics. All right. Now, is it? Next, seventh one. Okay, all types of objects are stored. Eighth point, null is allowed. Ninth point, in which order elements are stored? Objects are stored in insertion order. What is the meaning of insertion order? The order we call add method. Okay, let me take it. System dot out dot println al dot size. Tell me, do you have capacity? In vector, we have capacity. Look at that. Do you have capacity method in array list? No. So what's Sun Microsystem telling from Java 1.2 onwards? Capacity, how much increase? None of your business. We will take care. You only worry about size. So capacity method not there. Control F11. 0 and no elements. Now I want to add elements. System dot out dot println. That's it. al dot same method add of double quotes a. First a is stored and elements are what? 1. Next. Now I am trying to store b. Then what is stored? Insertion order. After a, b is storing. In which order I am calling a add method? If elements are maintaining in the collection in that order, that is called what? Insertion order. Now I am writing what? 5. Allowed? If 5 or 6 or 8, okay? Allowed. For example, if I move it here, then what is the output? A fix B. Okay, na? Right, wonderful. Now, next, 10th one, retrieving order. In which order we can retrieve elements? I should not call objects. I must call what? Elements. Okay, na?
Yes.
Array list, can I expect all people understand? Vector and array list are having one more problem. Vector has one problem called synchronization. Synchronizer problem is solved, then array list came. Both array list and vector has one more problem. Observe all points you read, find problem. After class completed, you should go down randomly or sequentially. In line you have to go. Now randomly you are pushing each that side, this side and going. Finally your body will go down by rolling. Na? That is a problem. What is the second problem? What is the second problem? Vector and array list allows us to retrieve elements randomly. But sometimes in the project, I want to retrieve elements only sequentially. For example, observe, I have opened F3 constructor. From main method, I come to constructor. From here, F3, I come to second constructor. Third constructor. This class. My journey stopped here. Again, further I cannot go. And I started from main method. I came to one place, from there here, from there, from there, from there. So many places I came. Now I have to go back to my original place, main method. I should go zigzag order randomly, na again sequentially. ఏ రోడ్ లో వచ్చామో మళ్ళీ అదే రోడ్ లో వెళ్ళాలి. How much distance we travel, the same distance you should go. That means it is a sequential, na. I mean, the same example, when you are coming from your native place to Hyderabad, what are the houses coming in order? When you are going back to your hometown, the same houses are coming in a reverse order, na. That means you are accessing those houses zigzag order or sequentially. Sometimes in the project, after storing my objects in the collection, I want to retrieve those objects only sequentially. Randomly, I don't want to allow. In that case, I have to use another collection. Look at here. I am going back. Look at there. I came back to the place where I have came, na? From where I have came. From there, from here, 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 from here. Finally, I came to main method, na? Come to my room. Prabhas dialogue, you know? My room. How do you know F3 is the key for opening it? I said. I also said another thing. What I said another? Come to my room, huh? Okay. So now tell me, what is that collection? That another collection is linked list. Which collection? Next. Vector and array list is having second problem. If I want to remove one element from the collection, what I did, I move all the elements to right side. If you want remove element, if you want insert element, I have to move all elements to right side. Removing left side, inserting right side. So is it a performance issue? For example, my collection has 1 crore objects. I want to insert the one element in the first left side, I mean right side, and remove. I want to insert element in the 0 index. Then I have to move 1 crore objects to right side. Is it a performance issue? Yes. So array list and vector is having two problems. Problem number one, they will not force us to retrieve elements only sequentially, and insert and remove operations is giving less performance because we have to move the elements right side and left side. To solve this problem, what should I do? Sun Microsystem has given another class called what? Linked list. Okay? Tell me. What is a linked list? First, you need to understand the diagram of the linked list. Then only you can understand the points. So tell me, array list and vector maintaining background what? Array. Array location. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, dot, dot, dot. Okay. If you want to create array, you must specify size of the array. Na? That is nothing but capacity of the array. That means if you are the collection that is working with array must contain default capacity. Now, the linked list memory structure is something like this. Linked list will maintain our object A, our object B, our object 5, our object 6.7, not by using array. Okay, linked list doesn't use array. It uses one special object called what? Node. Sir, what is node, sir? I don't understand. Okay, tell me, what is a student? A person who sleep in the class is called what? Yes or no? Yes, sir. That is the first quality of a student. Okay. Now 4 o'clock, one student seriously sleeping or backside. I slowly went there, sound without while talking. If I stop talking, what happened? He'll get up. Why stop? Sound stopped. That's why while talking, I went there and I stopped. After 2 seconds, sound not coming, na? He looked at me. क्या कर रहे हैं? Okay. So 4 o'clock and morning 7 o'clock are the most dangerous batches. You know why? Early morning 7 o'clock, people will wake up by around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. People are traveling, na? So the early morning they will wake up and finally they come. And after coming here, they will make the 7 to 9 is a sleeping time. And 4 o'clock, almost 1:30 you are eating food. Now it is not digestion mode. And 2 to 4 you are attending Oracle class or HTML class. Already there is a mummy Jolpada will come, Lali Jo, okay? And then with that sleeping and tiredness, you come to 4 o'clock my class. 4 o'clock batch handling is very tough. How much I should be active for 4 o'clock batch? Too much. One day you come to 4 o'clock, how much I am shouting and making the people active. Wow. So that's why I am also sleeping now. Okay. Fine. So tell me, what is it? What is a student? Student is a person who is learning. Sleeping. Okay. Next, faculty. So what is a faculty? A person who act as a teaching. Who is acting as a teaching is called what? Faculty. Similarly, what is a node? A node is a memory. Can I call every memory is a node? No. A memory that holds the object and holds next node. A node is an object that holds the current object, holds next node, also hold previous node. Okay, na? A memory that is used by linked list data structure. A memory that is used by linked list data structure to hold the objects storing in the linked list is called what? Node. From object-oriented programming, the memory that stores multiple values is technically called what? Object. So what is a node? A node is an object that is used by linked list for storing object or for storing element, because object confusion, let's say element is the object stored in the collection. So tell me, how array list and vector store of elements by using array? Then how linked list can store the object by using node? Now tell me. Now this node internally uses one variable. Tell me, array using one variable to store our object reference, na? Similarly, node also internally contain one variable to store our object. This variable is technically called item. What we call? Item. If the array is storing object, this object from the array point of what we call element. From the linked list point of view, the object is not called element. We call it as what? Item. Next. Now, second node is or not? Now, this node, who should hold? Linked list will hold? No. This node must be linked to previous node. Because one node is linked to another node to hold, that's why this data structure is named as what? Linked list. List and a sequence of objects. Na? Sequence of objects we are placing by linking them. That's what is called what? Linked list. Do you know Shiva movie? Shiva. Ram Gopal Verma Shiva. No? All people go tomorrow Saturday, right? Today no, tomorrow. Tomorrow, open YouTube, search for RGV Shiva. RGV ra. Achha, you don't know RGV? Ore yaar. If you don't know Ram Gopal Verma ante asala you are not a part of India. So Now go and search for what the movie? Shiva movie, RGV Shiva movie. You search, you will get that movie. In that movie, linked list will be there. You know what the linked list? Cycle chain. Cycle chain, cycle chain. Cycle has a chain, no? The chain has one part is linking to another part. Round circle purpose. If the chain is linking first node to second node to third node, then we call it as single linked list. What we call? If first node linking to second node linking to first node, then what we call? One link there are, two links there are. Then what we call it as? Yeah, doubly linked list. Okay, repeat again. Now first node linking to second node is linking to first node, then we call it as what? And two nodes are mutually linking, then we call it as what? Doubly linked list. Tell me now, second node is linking to third node linking to second node, third node is linking to fourth node is linking to third. Okay, now this linked list, if it is hold only first node, I can go from first to second to third to fourth. But I want to come from fourth to third to second to first. That means linked list should hold last node also, na? If a linked list is holding both the first node and the last node, and each nodes are mutually linking, then we call it as what? Doubly linked list. If a linked list is holding node is linking to second node, then we call it as what? Single linked list. If last node is linking to first node, then we call it as circular linked list. How many types of linked lists are there? 3. Single linked list. Most important interview question. Can you create your own array list? Can you create? Our NIT collection is array list or vector? No, array list. Excellent. Finally, you are getting correct answers. Yeah, I'm so happy. Initially, you tortured me. First, initially you tortured me, no? Yeah, 7M, I know. You are my favorite student. So, but finally, you are ultimately changed. Real, I was so happy. I'm so happy. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Initially, you are dull or not connected, but no, there are two types of people. Time pass coming, desire is there, but not unable to focus. One day you have to realize, hey, what am I doing here? Nonsense. Let me change. Let me start studying. If you one day realize and start studying, automatically are revered in next chapter, because I have a bad habit. Every chapter I will bring to the next chapter. I will connect the previous chapter to the next chapter. So if you start studying from today to the next topics, unknowingly previous chapters also will start getting revised and complete subject will be coming to your mind. Thank you, Mama. Okay. So what point I'm telling? Finally, I forgot. So interview ask a question, what? Can you create your own array list? Your own array list means what? Simple. Create a class with an object array, size variable, add method, search method, all our 9 methods. With synchronized array, without synchronized. Then it is a array list. Create the class name as NIT collection, my own array list. Class my array list. Class my array list, open bracket, closure bracket, write down that program. Okay. Similarly, interviewer will also ask, okay, wonderful. Can you create your own linked list? I have written one program. This is not sufficient. Okay. Maybe other interviewer in another interview, maybe will ask, can you create your own linked list? Can you write the code? Diagram ante kada. Data structure means first you should get a command on memory. If you remember, I didn't write a program first in array list code, means NIT collection code. I didn't write program. First I have written memory. Algorithm I explained. This is my memory. Water bottle, my friend, me and Mota are going to playground. First I explain the memory structure of growable array means Then after you understood, then I started implementing that memory structure with a program. Same story. Linked list also, first you should understand diagram. If you understand diagram, writing program is easy. Sir, how to write a program? Please teach me, sir. I don't teach. You search in Google. Should you search in Google? Search in Google, you should start writer. You should start write. While writing, if you unable to write, if unable to understand how to write, simple. Come to the Eclipse. Which class you want to write? Linked list. Linked list of object. LL equal to new linked list. Okay, tell me. Linked list is a class. This class must hold what? Node? Huh? Node or last node? Last node. Then tell me. These variables are referenced variable. Na? Referenced variable should hold what? Node class object. That means these variables are what it. In the linked class, create referenced variables. First node, last. To count how many nodes are created, how many size, how many elements, I need one variable called what? Size. Class my linked list, open bracket, 3 variables. Node first, node last, node int size. Now the class node is predefined. We should create my linked list to my node. Okay. Then you create a class called node. Node class object should store how many objects? 3. 1 item. Second, next node and previous node. That means in the node class, how many variables must be there? 3. Node, previous, node, next, object, item. Because what type of objects you are storing in the node? Any type of object. So you have to create variable of what type? Object. Object, item. Easier. So if you understand the memory, writing program is easy. You try first. If you are unable to write, I will explain. Try chestara, act chestara. Anyways, he said he will explain. So let me wait for him to teach. Then in company, team lead will give you work to you. Call me. Sir, my lead has given me work. Can you please me? Phone, I'll slap you. Try from now on. Okay, I taught you the memory diagram. Also, I implement array. So, like array, you have to implement what? Node. Nothing more. Try, you will understand. If you don't try, you'll get nothing. Okay, come. I have a question. Tell me, are these nodes contain index number? 0, 1, 2, 3. Only contain index. These are the array. Na? This is the normal class objects. Normal class contain index. Because there is no index, can I go randomly to the whichever the node I like? No. If you want to come third node, first you should go to first node with the help of variable next node, with the help of next variable in second node to third node. Means it is random access or sequential access. Sequence. Tell me. Linked list. Retrieve the node. Retrieve the item. Retrieve the element randomly or sequentially. I want retrieve elements only sequentially. Then choose what? Linked list. Okay, next. Tell me. I want remove one node on this B. I remove this B. If you want remove this B, what do you call it? Array. Here, do I need to move anywhere? No. Simply what I need? You have to drop this node. Na? If you drop this node, what happens? Then the link is gone. Remember, when you are having in childhood cycle, when you are riding cycle, what happened? The chain got loose. Na? Then for tightening the chain, you are bringing cycle to the cycle shop. Cycle shop owner, one link is removing, and now the left side, right side edge again connecting. Na? Now, if you wanted to remove this node, should I remove this? in the links are simple. What should I do here? This node I want remove. This node previous this node previous whatever is available here that I should, right? Then this reference is gone. It start pointing to this node. Andega? The removing node, previous node must be the node of next node. And what I should do? I should remove node or just the references I have to change. Tell me. Removing node, next node must be the next node of previous. That I should, this reference, whatever the reference I have to copy. Then this reference is gone. It is pointing to this node. Links vachaniya. First node is pointing to third node pointing to first node. Okay. Still this node is pointing to previous and na. What should I do? Here I should assign what? Null. Here I should assign what? Null. Then this link gone, this link gone. Then finally what happened? This object is dropped. Understood? So tell me, did I move elements anywhere? No. I have 1 crore object. In linked list also I have 1 crore objects. I want 0 index object. No. Simply what happened? Links are changed. Just the references are copying. 1 crore objects is faster. Just changing the references are faster. Then linked list is giving fast execution, insert and remove operation. So tell me, when to choose linked list? First point, tell me now. Chala, taka, tell me. Point number 1, working with linked list. Point number 1, linked list. A linked list is a collection, so framework collection available from 1.3, 1.2. Second, when to use linked list? It is used for your target. Linked list meant for storing purpose or retrieving purpose? Retrieving, removing, and insert. If your more operations are if our more operations are insert and remove, and more, and also if you want retrieve, only sequentially we must use understood? When to choose linked list? If our more operations are insert and remove, and also if elements only sequentially, we must use linked list. Sir, what is the collection programming? Simple. One point you got to realize. Collection is meant for objects as one group. If you want to store multiple objects as a one group, which collection I have to use? All collections are solving type problem. All collections are solving size problem. Then based on type and size, I have to choose a. Based on yield operations, I have to choose a. All collections are supporting on what base use collections? Based on the order and the format. Format is index, format is table. I want in. Then we have 3 collections. What are the 3 collections? Vector, array list, linked list. Then my storing objects in indexed format. All 3 collections are supporting. Then which collection you have to consider the special point. What is that? Synchronization I don't want, array list. More insert and remove linked list. So that's you must remember. When to choose which collection. This collection, if you remember, then any question asking answer. Okay. Now, next point. So tell me. Now the remaining points are common points. Is it synchronized or not synchronized? It is not synchronized. That means all its methods are not synchronized. So this collection is not thread safe. Next, is it ordered collection? Is because it's maintaining insertion. Is it training? With index or without index? Without index, very important. Array list and objects with index, but array list maintain objects without index. Now what? Growable array, resizable array. Data structure. Node is used for implementing the data structure. Tell me, array list and vector is using array. What the data structure are you saying? Array. Node అని చెప్తావు. అన్ని nodes ని కలిపి ఏమంటాం? By combining all the nodes, what is the data structure? Linked list. Class name is linked list. Data structure is also linked list. Which linked list? Double linked list. It's implement data structure. Linked list class data structure is double linked. Okay, na? Single list. And first node, second linking into first. And linked list is holding both first and we can travel on the linked list from 1 to last one. Okay, next. Okay, collection ready. I created a link. How many locations linked list is created? What the default capacity of 10? Vector 10. What is the default capacity of link? 10. Don't use your brain. Use your brain. You cannot give answer from the day beginning. I am saying. Still you don't get answer from your to derive the answer with the explanation I gave. I asked what question? Capacity. Capacity means what? Linked list object background number of nodes. How many default nodes are created? Node is meant for storing item or object I want to store. And this node should link to next node previous. If I create 100 nodes, traveling over 100 nodes for storing this object is difficult or not? 10 items. I mean, if I create array with 10 locations, directly to the first location, second location, third location, fourth location, random. If I create a nodes, 10 nodes as a default capacity by linking. If I want to store my object in first node, second node, third node, it is a random access. For storing my object in a fifth node, I have to travel before. Then by the time the object storing in that node, then what happens? It takes a lot of performance issue. And performance issue. So what Sun Microsystem decided to create any nodes? Default capacity 0. They create M linked list. That means single node also not created. Linked list means what? Variable first created with the default value null, variable created with the default value null, and the size is created with the default value 0. That's it. Nodes are not created and not created. and you call add method. Then what is the incremental? Come on. This one first created object created node at list. Second object story. Node is created. Node is linked. First node, second, last to last in the list last. Third node, third object I am stored. Then third node created, third node to second node linked to third last link will read last. Next points are four are continuous, unique, and duplicate. Next, point 6, 7. Tell me loud. How many? In which order elements are stored? Insertion order means the order we call the methods. Sequence one out. Okay, na? Points and you should by heart all these points. Enter ask these questions only. They don't ask if we call don't ask when to use which collection. This collection, this situation. I should use this collection, this situation. Interviews will when to choose linked list, when to choose. I have a project, we have one project in that require multi in and the product you got it. So invoice group sometimes there be a chance of getting duplicate invoice also, but I don't want duplicate invoice. Then I do in the project. Tell me. If say how job, then you say okay, then you can leave. Not training session. This here you have to work everything, then only you can work. If you don't know anything, you cannot work. And if you are facing some difficulty in working, then we will help. But if you stuck up somewhere, we will okay, this way you do, then problem solved. But we don't train. So you should know everything. So scenario will be given is how to answer. Mr. M. Chaudhary, wait till end of collections. That is of collections. Everyone understand? So, what is the more important collection? Second point. When to choose this collection? Second is remaining points may or may not asked by the interview, but extra knowledge. Up to now, all people understand? Let's try to work with program to verify points. Println LL. Any elements? No. And what the LL? Okay. Now I want you see what are the different variables available in linked list. Look at that. We have size, we have first, and we have last. Field. Then come to the constructor fields. What is the logic constructor? Is there any logic in constructor? It is empty constructor. Empty constructor ante next. Now I want add. Okay. Now the size, if you 3 size. Now LL dot, what the method? Add. All collections contain same method, but the method implementation same or changing? Method signature is same, but the implementation is changing. Okay. Now LL dot, I'm storing A. Control F11. Look at there. A is stored now. Now I'm trying to store B. Now tell me, the elements are storing in insertion or insertion order na? That means B will be stored after. One second. So now return A comma B, insertion order will come. LL dot add of, I'm writing what here? 5. Allowed or not? Yes. Now elements are storing in insertion order. It's only printing is list, because customer should not feel the difference there and here, right? Index order. Now if observe the add method, internal logic will be different. Open a list class add method and class add method, you will get some idea how they have implemented. Which method? Link last. Always you want to link the new node to the last of node na? When the node object is created, when linked list object is created, or when object is added. That means inside add method. Look at the node object is created. Node, new node equal to, sir, new node, I'm confusing, sir. Ray, this new node is a variable name. Yes. And this new node is object creation. Now you want to store your new object. To store object for your and you are occupying your own chair. What you are storing, and it should hold next node or previous node. Previous node and last node na? That is L. Yes or no? Linked list object contain the last variable. The last variable contain last node. Last node become the previous node of mine. Passing to the node object what? L E is previous, last node previous node, and E is what? Item. Why null? Tell me. Then another, a new node contain only previous. Then you may ask me question, sir, node, why the third value you are passing? Next node is always null, na? Currently we are implementing W. In future, if I change the decision to circular linked list, circular linked list last node is that time again I have to add new variables, modify the coda. That's the wrong idea, na? That's why we are suitable to single linked list, double linked list, circular linked list, and the implementation is provided with what? Double linked list. Circular linked list, then just simply we will pass here what? First. Link it to the first node, then we'll get what? Circular linked list. Understood? the question why you are passing null, right? You have to tell this answer. Okay. So tell me in the method. Okay. Take like this method call. Okay. In the add method, create node object by passing last node reference, object, and null. Node class, I must have how many variables? 3 variables. Look at that. Node class object item, node next, node previous, and the constructor. These 3 variables. Are you following? Now look at the passing value we are storing. Look at this. This node class will support single linked list, double, so circular linked list. Then the person who is using linked list, which implementation you want, then he will pass last node as what? Null. This node also null. Single linked list only pointing to the next node. First node to second node to third node to fourth. No need to point. That means only object we have to store. Are you following? Right. Next, if you next node, I mean circular linked list, if you want null, I mean next one as a first. So that, you know, whatever the implementation you want, double list you want, circular linked list you want, that just to all while creating node object, how you are the implementation of the linked list. Okay. Then next point, go back. Tell me what class? Static inner class. Did you notice? Because linked list not to other classes. That's why it's created in linked list class as a inner class. Then node object ready. I have to store this node object in the link. There is a point here. This node object is first node, second node. I should assign to variable. If it is the second, third, fourth, I should not assign to first. In the linked list, first variable should always point to the first only. So that's why if else condition. If else condition, if last equal to null. If last variable is null and there are not there, not there, then that is a first node. Then directly write first equal to and last equal to new node. So this new node become always last node. And if first, if it is a second node, I should last dot next variable. Last dot next variable new node. Are you getting the memory diagram? We have a linked list. I don't want write on the board. You have to visualization capacity. I explain. I have linked list object with how many variables? 3. Last. Then when I call for add method, now the node object with last previous null. Next variable also null. Then item variable with our a object 111. Now this new node must be stored to the linked list object and should link to the next object. I mean previous object. So for that I should write some if condition. If it is a really first object, then only assign to first. If it is a second object, 2 variables. Last variable, last dot, next variable. If everything I'm writing, you will feel understood. But after going to row, everything you will forget. So open the source code, ask a question. How Harikrishna understood? He also written the diagram. JB Marketing object diagram drawn. How to draw? I explain. Spend the time. Open this class and then go here. Now LL variable is created. LL variable created. New keyword will allocate memory for all the 3 variables and then reference is stored. When I call add method, what happened? Open this and then link last. Open this and then now what you have to do? Create node object. This local variable, you no need to worry about it, right? You create what? New node object. New node object circle you create. How many variables? 3 variables. Previous variable, item variable, next variable. Then now in the L variable, currently L variable, then null. Last previous variable value stored with what? Null. Item variable stored 1. Next variable is stored with what? Null. Object is Then next, what you have written here? New node. New node in your 2020 stored inside where? Last. P is that last, our linked list object last variable null replaced with what? Okay, and then if L equal to null, tell me L is nothing but last value. L last is already taken. L equal to null. Yes, then first node is also new node. Else block executed or not executed? Not executed. Size plus. Sir, what is this mod count plus? None of your business. Come out. First node object is created. Linked list object created. Node object is created. Node object is the linking by first variable and last variable. Able to visualize the diagram? I am. You? Wonderful. Next. Now when I call ll.add of double quotes b, tell me, in the linked list object, first variable value, null or non-null? Not null. Last variable value also not null. Then with that mind, you have to come back again in link. What it is doing now? L variable is stored with what? Last. Now L variable 2020. Now again new node is created. New node side you have to write one more circle with the 3 variables. Previous item, next. And then now in previous variable, what will be stored? What you are passing? L. What the L value? 2020. Previous node reference 2020 stored, pointing to it. Diagram visualization. Come. Trying. Kuchoni. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Anukunta undu. This way you sing a song, then you will get. Last 1 hour I am observing you. At least 1 talk or not I am checking. What is the problem in talking? Where? Inside. Are you Shruti Hasan? Then why you are looking at with a scared face? Tell me, bolo. All people are replying, visualizing, smiling. Tension with kaha, they can say. How many days, man? How many days this confusion brain? Already explained diagram, right? Just I am again one more time explain diagram with all the objects. Same diagram I am writing on the everything write board, sir. Then only we will understand, sir. Otherwise, understand. And in interview, who will write the diagram to explain you? In company, who will write to explain you? You should connect it. You should speak what I am trying to tell. If you are not speaking and sitting silently and watching, you will get nothing. You will get. Getting angry on me? Want to murder me? Bring one knife. Chance is the mukkal, right? Give you a chance, you know, cut pieces. Come back. So, object is available. In that object, already one node is available. Are you seeing the arrow marks? First also pointing to first node. Last variable also pointing to the first node. And first node pointing to item. Item what? A object. Now, one more node object is created. When object is constructing. Tell me, how many variables are there in the node object? 3. First one, previous, item, next. All 3 variables contain default value. Now the new keyword by passing this node object reference 3030, constructor is called. Constructor is called by passing L. What is the L value? Last node reference, not last. What is the last node reference? 2020. Tell me, 2020. Item reference and null. Then what logic is there? This dot previous. This argument L will become what the previous in the new node object. previous variable null replaced with what? 2020. Is it a mathematical value or reference? Then arrow mark is created to previous node. Online students, understanding? Visualizing what I am talking? Tell me. So we have linked list object, first variable pointing to first node, last variable also pointing to first node, and then new node is created with any links or no links? No links. Now this new node, previous variable is pointing to previous node. That is 2020. Link created? First last node created or first node? First node is linking to last node. Now last node also should point into, sorry, first node also should point into second node. Na? Following? Tell me, if you want first node pointing to second node, in the first node, next variable should point into, that means first node, next variable, and then second. Yes or no? That is what this statement is. L dot next. L is reference last node. Last node variable, next variable should point into the new node. Then the new node should store in first node. First node next variable. That statement is L dot next equal to new node. Tell me. Always last variable in the linked list should point in the last. That is the statement. After new node object construction, immediately what is then? Last equal to new node. Come on, visualize the diagram. Linked list object, first variable pointing to first node, last variable pointing to first node. Then after this line last equal to 147. Now the last variable 2020 replaced with what? 3030. This arrow mark is moving to 3030 object, second object. Following? Now visualize the diagram now. LL variable pointing to linked list object. Linked list object, first variable pointing to first node. First node pointing to next variable. First node, next variable pointing to second. No, we are completed up to 147 only. You are confusing me. No confusion. Up to 147 only completed. Yes or no? Up to 147, what happened? LL pointing to linked list object. Linked list object, first variable pointing to first node. First next variable still not pointing to the new node. Okay. Last in the linked list, last variable pointing to last node. Last node is nothing but second node. Second node, previous variable pointing to first object because of the constructor L variable. Okay. This next node should hold by first variable, next variable. How JVM knows this is the first object or second object with this condition? If L equal to null, false, then go to the else. Next equal to new node. Now the previous node variable now pointing to the new node. Full object construction is 4. So now visualize. Now the third object you only should tell. Visualize complete linked list. LL linked list object. First variable pointing to first node. First node next variable pointing to next node. Next node previous pointing to previous node. I mean first node, and last variable pointing to second node. Okay now? Yes. First node pointing to A or second node pointing to B or. Yes. Everyone. Yes. Yes. Hello. Andarki ardhamainda? Sir, last class you nicely explained that array list diagram and all by writing on the board, but today you are not writing on board, sir. If you write, I can easily understand, sir. Correct? Correct? No. Brainless fellow, already written, na? Linked list object, memory structure, diagram, already written, right? Yes. Then how many times I should write? Write also, second time also, what happened? Then pay second time also, what happened? Pay 2,500 rupees again, second time, what happened? Now you have to start visualization. If everything writing on the board, company we cannot survive. Advanced Java you cannot survive. In Advanced Java, who will write diagrams? No one write. In Spring Boot, who will write? No one will write. Architecture will write. Connection con equal to driver manager get connection. This line will create connection object. Sir, object diagram you draw, sir. Come to my room. Natra sir will beat you like anything. And draw diagrams, get out, that is core Java, it is advanced Java. This line creates connection object. Ante అయిపోయింది. At least Natra sir will write some rough diagrams. Because forcing, you people are forcing. Sir, diagram. Sir, maximum students only, because I promote sir only. So by under my style of explanation, sir slowly start from my explanation and change to his. Finally, you are connected to him and started understanding. So going on, no one will write diagrams. Okay, teach you internals. You have to start analyzing by your own. I will trouble you little bit in collections, so that slowly I'll stop writing diagrams and slowly I'll make you diagrams. Ready? Yeah? Yes, sir. Third diagram. Sorry. Third object. Now, size. Now tell me. Third object. I don't open the source code also. You will need it. ll.add of 5. Now when I see ll.add of 5, my brain already visualized. What are the changes are coming, connections, everything. Tuck came. Now, after third object, new node object created with a previous variable, item variable, next variable. Now the previous variable null replaced with previous object 30 pointing to it. Now this new node object reference stored in last variable pointing to it. Then if condition checking if last equal to L equal to null, no. Then else block L dot next equal to L dot reference is what? 30 dot next equal to new node 40. It is pointing. That's it. Now, can you teach me how the null is stored? New node is created or not created? Where it is stored? If no new node is not created, where null is stored? Inside linked list. For storing null also, node object must be created. Separate object like string, no. Node will not null. Down link will not be. So now linked list first node down link reference to what? String object A. Last variable 30 object with what? B. Now the third object 5 down with what? Wrapper class object integer 5. Fourth node further extension down will not be there. In the item variable directly null will go and store. Size will be increased to. Understand? Really? पक्का लॉक करेंगे. अभी तक मैं ये बोल रहा हूँ ठीक है? हेलो, okay na? First LL variable linked list object created with the size 0, first null, last null. Then when I create first add method I call, new node object is created. New node object created by passing E last null. E is nothing but 111. Last is nothing but null. Okay, null. Then now first node created previous with null, item with 111. Next is also null. Then now first equal to null, true. Then new node first equal to new node and last dot next will not execute. Last equal to new node. This is my own code, not Sun Micro system code.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes.
Sun Micro system written little different, but fundamental concept, final logic is what same, but the approach is different. Then now second object I'm storing LL dot add of second object I stored. Now second object 222 coming to E. Then now new node is created with the previous item. Next previous reference is what? Last value is what is there? 2020. Now 2020 stored in previous item stored 222. And then next value is what? Null. Now this fellow pointing to the previous node. And then if first equal to null, no. Then next 2020 dot next equal to 30. Now new node down. Last equal to new node. Last variable 2020 replaced with 30. Previously pointing to this object. Now the reference gone pointing to next object. Like this, the same logic repeated for all objects. So if you also work out this diagram with your hand, then you will understand. Otherwise, chakka bhajan. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I'm sharing all these programs in our Google Classroom. All you people are part of new Google Classroom. Today you have to work. Again, I'm telling. Today, if you are ignoring, listen. Today 9 to 10:30, if you are not studying the 3 classes, vector, array list, and linked list with a memory diagram, if you don't work, you are going to face a lot of problems in the next class. Are you online students? Are you there? Any of you miss yesterday class? This is a Google Classroom. Join. Online students, did you share the Google Classroom to your friends? Don't share Google Classroom to your friends. There is a limitation. If you are allowing outside people to join, then your friends, your classmates cannot join. Please look at here. I have shared all three programs: vector, array list, linked list, and I shared the memory diagrams. This is vector, and this is vector only. Okay. Here vector place what you write? Array list. So what the difference between vector and array list? Locking. Okay, locking and size. Growable capacity. Vector object will be locked every time, and the incremental capacity is double. Array list is no locking, and the capacity is what? Half. Half increase 15. Here the you change from vector to array list, and this is linked list. And the code I have written what I wish to write, I have written same functionality. Okay, Sun Microsystem written code also you please check. So class linked list, the three variables and the node class. Okay, na? Right. So whatever I have explained, everything there, go and enjoy. Please practice and come. 1 minute. Here I also shared difference between array list and vector. Compulsory asking question. Difference between array list and vector. Also they will ask the question difference between array list and linked list. Differences also I told you need to practice. So I completed 3 collection classes: vector, array list, linked list, from the memory point of view, its implementation point of view, and interview projects point of view also. Okay, thank you. People who are having Google Classroom, you can leave. People who don't have Google Classroom, stay. F3.
F3.
Yeah, people who don't have Google Classroom, please join here. And please don't share to your friends, and people who have already joined, don't join again. There is a limitation there.